Hello and welcome everyone. It is Holi, it is the festival of colors. It's right here. In the last few days, of course, in the run-up to Holi this year, Trump's trade war, now that has led to a massive sell-off on Wall Street. Global markets plunging as the Trump tariffs have sparked this recession fear. So while stocks have seen these Himalayan highs and oceanic lows, they are not the only ones to see a drastic change of fortune. In the last 1 year, from the last Holi to this current one, stocks of several political bigwigs, they've either seen big highs or big lows. From Arvind Kejriwal to Rekha Gupta and Devendra Fadnavis to Omar Abdullah, these leaders have had a change of political fortunes. In fact, let's talk about Arvind Kejriwal. He, of course, alleged that the BJP government in Haryana was poisoning the water of the Yamuna. But the election splashed water on his hopes of coming back to power in Delhi.
पीने का पानी हरियाणा और उत्तर प्रदेश से मिलता है। हरियाणा में यमुना के रास्ते पीने का पानी आता है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की हरियाणा की सरकार ने दिल्ली में यमुना से आने वाले पानी में जहर मिला के भेज दिया है।
Well, it was always clear that Atishi would have to vacate the Chief Minister's chair if the Aam Aadmi Party came back to power in Delhi. Atishi, of course, was asked to be the Delhi Chief Minister after Kejriwal was sent to jail in the alleged liquor excise case. And she tried her best. She campaigned extensively with the AAP chief, Arvind Kejriwal, and she came across as a feisty leader as well. But her efforts proved to be in vain eventually because she managed to win the Kalkaji seat amidst a BJP landslide. You will do such dirty things for the election, won't you? You will abuse an old person, is what she said. Listen to what she said.
चुनाव के लिए इतनी घटिया हरकत करेंगे? कैसे बुजुर्ग व्यक्ति को गालियां देने पे उतर आएंगे?
Now, Rekha Gupta, a relatively lesser known name. She was picked by the BJP leadership as the Chief Minister of Delhi. Now, Chief Minister Rekha Gupta participated in the Yamuna Aarti on day one of taking office as Delhi Chief Minister. And she is focusing big time on cleaning up the Yamuna, one of BJP's most important poll promises. Yamuna River will be cleaned up very soon, she said.
कि आप केवल सोचिए, आप केवल बोलिए, वो काम जिसे असंभव लोग कहते हैं, इस इम्पॉसिबल में भी पॉसिबल, आई एम पॉसिबल छिपा है, ये हो पा रहा है तो आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में।
Now, after the initial days of abrogation of Article 370, it looked like Omar Abdullah had taken a back seat. But Abdullah's national conference staged a comeback in the Jammu and Kashmir polls. And Omar Abdullah was sworn in as the Chief Minister of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Abdullah, of course, has also surprised political observers because he's made several comments praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Omar Abdullah's political stock has surely seen a resurgence.
This Central Vista project in Delhi is a damn good thing. I believe constructing a new parliament building was an excellent idea. We needed a new parliament building. The old one had outlived its utility. We need these new central secretariat buildings. It's a good thing. They've built a purpose-built house for the vice president and the prime minister. Now that's not because I'm a BJP spokesperson. I believe that that's the right thing to have been done.
Well, then for Chandrababu Naidu, the 74-year-old Telugu Desam Party chief, this 2024 election marked a significant triumph, at least on two fronts. His party secured this decisive victory in Andhra Pradesh and he won 135 out of 175 seats in that state assembly. And he also emerged as the second largest force in the National Democratic Alliance, the NDA, by capturing 16 Lok Sabha seats out of the 25 that were allocated to the state. The Narendra Modi-led Bharatiya Janata Party falling 32 seats short of a majority in parliament, and Naidu positioned himself as this pivotal kingmaker. The Telugu Desam Party's rise as a crucial ally of the BJP in a coalition government has presented this timely opportunity for Chandrababu Naidu. So this strategic positioning allows him to leverage his party's significant role in the NDA to advance both his political and regional interests.
time right Prime Minister for India. That is you. That is the biggest advantage for India. Brand of India is very strong. Wherever you go, Narendra Modi ji is standing very tall compared to all global leaders. He is no more Indian leader. He is the global leader.
And with the Bharatiya Janata Party falling significantly short of a majority in the Lok Sabha, the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, just like Chandrababu Naidu, emerged as this potential kingmaker as well. His party, the Janata Dal United, defied all pre-poll predictions and won 12 Lok Sabha seats. Nitish's support to the NDA government at the centre, rather crucial, and this also gives him more bargaining power ahead of the Bihar Assembly elections that are set to take place later this year.
जनता दल यूनाइटेड भारतीय जनता पार्टी संसदीय दल के नेता आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को भारत के प्रधानमंत्री पद के लिए समर्थन देती है.
Meanwhile, in Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis has made this comeback for the ages in the tightly fought state assembly elections. In 2019, the BJP was, of course, the single largest party, but after the unsuccessful attempts to form a government in the state, the BJP spent 2.5 years in the opposition. So in 2022, following a split in the Shiv Sena led by Eknath Shinde, the BJP regained power in Maharashtra. And shortly after that, the NCP also fractured, with the Ajit Pawar-led faction aligning with the BJP Sena coalition. So Devendra Fadnavis has since been labelled the mastermind behind the splits in both the parties. And thus he cemented his reputation as a key strategist in the state's political landscape. And today, Mr. Fadnavis is being seen as the sculptor of the BJP's victory in Maharashtra. He's firmly in charge as the Chief Minister of India's richest state.
मेरा पानी उतरता देख मेरे किनारे पर घर मत बसा लेना. मेरा पानी उतरता देख मेरे किनारे पर घर मत बसा लेना. मैं समंदर हूं, लौट कर वापस आऊंगा.
Then we turn to Rahul Gandhi. He was on a high, and rightly so, after the Congress's improved performance in the Lok Sabha elections last year. But the Gandhi son has failed to maintain the momentum. He failed to make a comeback in Haryana, and this was something that was largely expected to happen. The performance of the Congress party was miserable in Maharashtra as well as Delhi. And it wouldn't be wrong to say that the BJP's improved performance in the state elections, and this after the Lok Sabha polls, they pushed the Congress party to where it was before the general elections. And Rahul Gandhi will have to take his share of the blame for this.
दस 15 20 30 40 लोगों को निकालना पड़ा, निकाल देना चाहिए. बीजेपी के लिए अंदर से काम कर रहे हो, चलो जाके देखते हैं, बाहर से काम करो. तुम्हारी वहां जगह नहीं बनेगी, बाहर फेंक देंगे तुम्हें. तो पहला काम ये करना है. और जैसे ही, मतलब अगर हमारा कोई डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट हो, ब्लॉक प्रेसिडेंट हो.
And though Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP received this jolt when the party failed to reach the majority mark on its own in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP's improved performance in Haryana and then in Maharashtra more than made up for the Lok Sabha debacle. Modi has also shown that he can manage a coalition government and he can do that well. At least so far that's been the case, and it wouldn't be incorrect to say that he has his sights set on the 2029 elections already.
हम भारतीय मिलकर चलेंगे, देश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. तीसरे कार्यकाल में देश बड़े फैसलों का एक नया अध्याय लिखेगा. और ये मोदी की गारंटी है.
Meanwhile, among the global leaders, the former US President and the Republican Donald Trump staging that dramatic political comeback. He secured the second term in office, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee, and thus he became the 47th President of the United States. The Republicans, of course, also strengthened their grip on the Senate, increasing their tally to at least 52 of the chamber's 100 seats. Despite running a campaign marked by personal insults, alleged misogynistic remarks, racially charged comments as well, felony convictions, and of course his role in inciting the mob that attacked the Capitol, Donald Trump's controversial past is not enough to deter a majority of Americans from re-electing him as their leader. So his victory underscores the deep political divisions within the country.
Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
And not too far away from him, after nearly a decade in office, the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. He announced his resignation, and this marked the end of an era for the once celebrated leader. While the decision did not come as a complete surprise given the mounting challenges in his political career, the fall of this golden boy of Canadian politics has left many questioning what led to his decline in the first place. His resignation set the stage for a leadership transition that will significantly influence Canada's future trajectory of growth. Now, his career, of course, had been promising to say the least, and a sweeping victory in 2015, that was a testament to that as well, because he became the second youngest Prime Minister in Canadian history. Over the years, Trudeau's popularity has steadily eroded. His approval ratings plummeted, and by the end of 2023, this growing number of Canadians expressing dissatisfaction with his handling of critical issues like immigration, soaring housing prices, and persistent inflation, all of that came to bear. So these challenges, coupled with a sense of fatigue among voters, ultimately contributing to his decision to step down as Canada's Prime Minister.
Clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
Then across the Atlantic, this gentleman is often dismissed as uncharismatic by the UK press. We're talking about Keir Starmer. He's defied expectations, delivering the stunning election victory. He's led Britain's Labour Party to a landslide victory, Starmer becoming the country's 58th Prime Minister, marking the first time that the centre-left party has secured a national election since Tony Blair's 3 consecutive victories starting in the year 1997. So this triumph represents the latest chapter in Starmer's remarkable transformation, from human rights lawyer to becoming a tough prosecutor, and from youthful radical to a pragmatic leader in his 60s. But much like Blair, who redefined the Labour Party as New Labour in the 1990s, the 61-year-old Starmer steering his party towards the political centre, securing this decisive victory over Rishi Sunak's Conservative Party in the election. Now, Starmer's campaign resonated with voters by promising both change and stability. He pledged to restore calm to public life and bring the sunlight of hope to Britain after 14 years of political and economic turbulence under the Conservative rule. His victory signals this new era for the country as Labour prepares to take the reins of power now, and of course, there is much for him to prove.
There's nothing preordained in politics. Election victories don't fall from the sky. They're hard won and hard fought for. And this one could only be won by a changed Labour Party.
Meanwhile, the Indian origin Rishi Sunak accepting responsibility for the Conservative Party's significant defeat, and this as Keir Starmer's Labour Party registered that landslide victory. Voters across the United Kingdom participating in a national election, electing 650 members of parliament to shape the country's governance for the next 5 years. Sunak, of course, on his part, tried his best, even when he was facing the prospect of a crushing defeat at the hands of the opposition, the Labour Party, but his best wasn't enough. By any stretch of the imagination, he had to do much more, and yes, we've seen a big loss where his party is concerned.
There is much to learn and reflect on, and I take responsibility for the loss. To the many good, hard-working Conservative candidates who lost tonight, despite their tireless efforts, their local records of delivery, and their dedication to their communities, I am sorry.
Then let's turn back to December last year. Russian President Vladimir Putin, he said he was open to discussing a Ukraine ceasefire deal with the American President Donald Trump. But he ruled out making any major territorial concessions, insisting that Kyiv abandon their ambitions to join NATO. So on the 12th of March, after a month in which President Trump turned American foreign policy on its head and Russian forces made progress in a key battle, the Kremlin now appears keen, at least now, to entertain this 30-day ceasefire proposal that was made by Ukraine and the United States. And now several political observers are of the opinion that Putin is winning this, and that too on his own terms. Meanwhile, days after the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky's embarrassing shouting match with the American President Donald Trump at the White House, the American side is saying that Ukraine is ready for a ceasefire, all set to present that 30-day ceasefire plan, and that being offered to Russia. But critics are of the opinion that Trump refused to entertain Zelensky, and the US is threatening to back off from the Ukraine-Russia war. That is actually what forced Zelensky to give in to Trump's threats. But whatever the reason be, it is not a good time to be Zelensky, especially with the ball in Trump and Putin's courts. Let's listen in to what Zelensky has been saying. And of course, in all the difficult situations, you have a chance, he says, but we will have a low chance. A chance to survive without support of the United States is what we've heard him say. So that is it from our end this Holi. Hope you like this presentation from all of us here. And as a parting message, we'd just like to end it with the legendary Holi one-liner which says, Bura na mano, Holi hai. Happy Holi to all of you.